Hey party people, welcome to another video. I'm smiling for a reason. That is because I am trying to deliver content to you guys in a way that breaks things down with critical thinking and gets you from point A to point B. I want you to be able to get better results in your life and to have understanding along the way. So I thought I would try something a little different today, which is calling someone from the audience, have them come down. They will act as a beginner because I want to address today's subject, which is polishing. So I want to call someone from the audience. Richard Seam from New York. Perfect. So Richard, ask me a question. Great question. Even though you guys didn't hear the question is, what is polishing? It is the most basic question that I could figure out to try to answer for you as a beginner. What you will find very quickly is that you will be so overwhelmed with information and opinions. We are part of this thing called the digital age of free information. Therefore, once you're on this path of how to polish your paint, so let me see if I can start this off, and I'm going to be talking to Richard right there. So Richard, you have a car. My guess is that you're here as a beginner using the search term polish a car. Now I know that you would have to be a beginner in order to use such an ambiguous, generalized search term because you did not ask what is the best car polish, how to polish a car, the best way to polish a car, should I polish a car by hand or machine? You just said polish a car. But it's a subject that overwhelms because of this. And this literally is just the tip of the iceberg. So what I thought I would do is show you and illustrate what the industry would have you believe and what the alternative is. I've got my prop set up, and today I'm bringing you my latest prop. Now the comparison I want you to draw is this as an acrylic disc and your car paint. And with that said, let's get this party started. What I'm gonna do for added dramatization is I'm gonna spark this baby up. Now this is not a perfectly flawless acrylic disc here. I have used this repeatedly to do endless testing. So what I'm gonna do is tape off a section and do kind of a, this side versus that side type of moment. Put a little tape down here at the bottom just so that the water flowage can drip off over that instead of on my little vise here. Now, most of you, when it comes to polishing your car, are going to automatically reach for, wait for it, a car polish, like Meguiar's Ultimate Polish to be more precise. But wait, there's also an ultimate compound. So right there is a question, which is a great question, Richard. Hey, Darren, what's the difference between a compound and polish? Well, to reduce it down to the simplistic, a compound refers to the heavy lifting. It is going to be a more aggressive form of abrasive technology. Now, abrasive technology is just a glorified way of saying that this has abrasives in it in a formulation that allows you to scratch your way to success. Polish, think of that as the fine tuning. This is where everything goes south, as in it already went south whenever I talk about the act or the art or the science of polishing your car. Once again, confusion. It is the industry's weapon of choice to help separate you from more of your money. It's how they can sell you more stuff. Welcome to Darren's little whiteboard. Now I accept that you're not going to be able to read this, but I'm going to call it out for you. So Richard, you came here with the goal that you want shine. So this says shine. That is our ultimate goal here. You accept that you're going to have to use some kind of polish to rub your car with in order to create shine. Well, it immediately splits into two categories: temporary, permanent. Let me address temporary first. This is the area of waxes, sealants, gloss enhancers, spray detailers. So for example, you have paste waxes of all kind. Here's 4 different versions: Pinnacle, Fusion, P21S, Adams. Then you go into spray waxes. You've got Turtle Wax. You've got F11 Top Coat, Mother's Spray Wax, and then we've got detailer like the one from Turtle Wax. temporary. So that's kind of like the Band-Aid effect. It's going to enhance the gloss and shine and depth of your car. It's part of maintenance, as in just ongoing servicing of your paint. The next alternative is permanent. But permanent immediately branches off into two categories. So you have abrasive technology, meaning products like this compound that is suspended in a slurry that allows you to use it as a liquid. Now there's many types of abrasives, but let's just talk about the other version, which is chemical only, which is going to basically be all over the board. And unfortunately, the industry will call this anything they want to. There is no standardization in this industry, which once again adds to the confusion because they want you confused. So a chemical only product, which means that the product, and I'm not suggesting that this is chemical only, it may or may not be, a chemical only will be a product like this, not necessarily this, but like this, as in a liquid, and they can call it a polish, a glaze, a compound even though I just told you that compounds do the heavy lifting through abrasive technology. They can still call this anything they want, just as they can call this anything they want. So here we have abrasives. Then it immediately branches off into two categories. You have what's called, as a rule, diminishing abrasive technology, the acronym being DAT. Then you have non-diminishing abrasive technology. There is no specific acronym for that. To add additional problem to an already complicated and complex subject, which then leads me down to this little acronym here, DBBP, Darren's Big Believable Prediction, which is this. I predict every polish and compounding manufacturer that is still in business will have a single product polish, meaning they will come out with a product that can do everything, get you from point A to point B with one product. So here we have the disc, the acrylic disc. I've got my distilled water. So abrasive technology is scratching your way to success. Here you have your material. This is your clear coat on your car. The paint or the base coat, the color coat, would be sitting underneath it, which means, once again, you are working on clear coat. And if you really want to simplify it, clear coat, you can pretend it's car paint with no color to it. 3000 grit. Let me bring you in closer. So here we have the area that I just scuffed up with 3000 grit. I've already put my 3000 grit marks in there. I'm going to pick my buffer. As a beginner, you will default, and I recommend this. If you're a beginner, you will want to default to a random dual action orbital polisher. This is what I consider the safest. So this pad is kind of that winning balance between the ability to do some heavy lifting as well as fine tuning. That's all the polish I'm putting on. Okay, one polish, one pad, one machine. Results. Let me pull you in. And let's see what it's going to reveal. So far it's revealing that I still have polish that I have not wiped up. Actually, what I did is I concentrated here, so I need to show you the optical clarity over here, which is my hand, and I never know what's going to show up on camera. I just know in real life, it's like, okay, done. I think what I'll show you is to drive home this point about efficiency. I'm going to switch to a buffer, and if you know what you're doing, you can produce desired results in a much quicker way than a dual action, and certainly by hand. So let me scuff the crap out of this again and sand it. Are you learning something here, by the way, Richard? Okay, you guys can see it, but he shook his head. So now I'm going to show you highly efficient. This is my Milwaukee. I'm going to put a little product right in the middle. Once again, rotary polisher only rotates or spins on a single axis point, which is different than the dual action buffer. You infuse it into the pad, and when pretty much any professional, any guy with some expertise, I'm going to dial this to 1200 RPM, FYI, is going to use the edge. So they're not going to keep this flat, because once again, rotary is all about speed, efficiency. They're going to go up on an edge to create additional friction and concentrate that friction up on the edge so they can really cut to the chase. Bam. So that really is going to get as quick as you can get. And now, just with a single product, a cutting pad, by the way. Now, in the real world, I would accept that if I brought this out into the sun, there would be some hologramming, swirl marks, buffer trails, whatever you want to call it. So what I would do is I would either then switch to foam finishing pad, but wait for it, still use the single product polish. Let me bring you in, see if we can capture the optical clarity. So here's my hand. Say that's pretty clear, one product. Okay, Richard, has your brain completely melted with all this information that I've delivered to you guys, to you specifically? No, it hasn't? Well, consider yourself lucky. If you've learned a single thing today, give it a thumbs up.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room.